Hello friends, how are you all? Welcome to the today's session about development of Basidium and Basidiospores. In our previous class, we learned about the introduction of Basidiomycotina and development of clamp connections and Dolichopore septum. In today's class, we will see about the development of Basidium and Basidiospores. What is basidium? Basidium is club-shaped sexual fruiting body bearing on its surface a definite number of basidiospores which are formed as a result of karyogamy and meiosis and composed entirely of dikaryotic hyphae. In my previous class, I explained about the basidia and basidia where it developed from the secondary hyphae. How the secondary hyphae look like? It is dikaryotic in nature, that is N plus N. It means where karyogamy will not take place but they remain as individual nuclei. From that stage, this basidia will develop. That means from the secondary mycelium or secondary hyphae, this basidia will develop and basidia will result in the formation of basidiospores. How it will result in the formation of basidiospores? Through the process of karyogamy and meiosis. That means karyogamy and meiosis takes place in the basidia. So first basidium, how it will look like? It will look like as a narrow and elongated, but later stages it becomes enlarged and broader. So whatever two nuclei present in this dikaryotic mycelium, they will move into the young basidium where fusion takes place. That fusion we known as karyogamy. And after fusion, what will happen? It results in the formation of zygote, which is 2n condition, and this nucleus undergoes meiosis and results in the formation of 4 haploid nuclei. These 4 haploid nuclei, what they will do is further they will move into the sterigmata structures. That sterigmata, how they will develop means they are the small outgrowths they develop on this basidium. So after development of sterigmata, these then they form the basidiospore initials. So during this time, at the same time, vacuole formation used to be there in this terminal cell. What is the use of this vacuole formation? This vacuole results in pushing of this basidium content into this basidiospore initials. That means that nuclei and cytoplasmic contents, they will move into these basidiospore initials later, which develop into the basidiospores. Here, by seeing this picture, we can completely understand about the development of basidium. Here you can see, if this is a dikaryotic mycelium which is having the n plus n condition. Here fusion took place, that is 2n, n plus n becomes 2n condition, and this is the zygote, and at the same time vacuole formation started. So this vacuole also increasing, and here meiosis takes place which results in the 4 haploid basidiospores, and here you can see the formation of sterigmata, and which results in basidiospore initials on the top of this sterigmata. As the vacuole increasing in the size, it pushes the contents of this basidium into this basidiospore initials. We can see the migration of uh, this haploid nuclei into this basidiospores and contents of the cytoplasm into this basidiospore as a result of the vacuole. So ultimately 4 basidiospores are formed. So this is the complete picture depicting the development of basidium. So after development of basidium, then we have to think about the how these basidiospores will release. So particularly there should be some mechanism. So let us see what will be that mechanism. So before going into the mechanism, we will see the parts of basidium. Generally, basidium is mainly divided into 3 parts, that is probasidium, Metabasidium, also known as promycelium and sterigmata. So what is probasidium? Probasidium is a portion where nuclear fusion takes place, that is karyogamy. So karyogamy takes place in the probasidium. Then next coming is metabasidium, which is also known as promycelium. Promycelium is portion where meiosis occurs, that is known as metabasidium. And sterigmata we known as the structures which bearing the basidiospores. So this is the any portion between metabasidium and basidiospore. Metabasidium is the place where meiosis occurs, results in the 4 haploid basidiospores from that portion to the basidiospore portion, that is basidiospore initials. So between that region is known as sterigmata. So how we divided the basidium? Basidium is divided into 3 parts. Probasidium where uh, karyogamy takes place, and metabasidium which is also known as promycelium, that is the portion where meiosis occurs, and sterigmata any portion between the metabasidium and basidiospore. So you remember all these parts. And this promycelium is formed, which becomes transversely separated into 4 cells, and each cell containing a haploid nucleus. So basidiospores are formed on sterigmata of promycelium. Okay, here basidium is not there. So how the rust and smarts produced these basidiospores means they produced from the these teleospores or chlamydospores. This thing we have to remember. Then basidiospores. How the basidiospore looking like and what it is? The basidiospore is a, already we know meiosis means it is a haploid. Basidiospore, haploid means it is having single nucleate, that is unicellular and uninucleate haploid structure. However, there are some exceptions are also there where two nuclei are present. And how these basidiospores are forming in Basidiomycotina? They are produced on the basidium, that is they are produced externally, that is exogenous production. If you will remember the Ascomycotina, where the ascospores are produced, they are produced inside, that is endogenous production of ascospores. So basidiospores are produced exogenously and ascospores are produced endogenously in fruiting bodies. Like if you remember those fruiting bodies, Clistothecium, Perithecium, just to go to the previous videos and listen about those structures. Here coming to the Basidiomycotina, basidiospores are produced exogenously on the basidium. Then what is the shape of basidiospores? Basidiospores, they are varying in shape. They are not in particular shape. They may be globose, oval, elongate or sachet shape, and may be hyaline, that is transparent in nature, or they may having the different colors in nature. This is the basidiospores. So basidiospore is unicellular uninucleate haploid structure, and they produced exogenously on the basidium, and they may be globose, oval, elongate or sausage shaped structures which look like a hyaline or they are having some color. The drop is generally known as Buller drop. What it consists? It consists of liquid which forms at the hilar appendix or that minute projection of the spore near the point of attachment to the sterigmata. He said that this Buller drop consisting of the liquid, so that while increasing the size that responsible dispersal of these basidiospores, and this drops keeps on increasing in size, and its expansion results in explosive discharge of spore to a distance about 0.1 millimeter, and the spores are discharged in succession at intervals of several seconds to minute. After release of these basidiospores, this sterigmata degenerates. So here also you can see the release of basidiospores. Here hilar appendix and formation of Buller drop, as it increasing in the size, it will release the basidiospores. Then later sterigmata degenerates. Coming to the next important structure is basidiocarp. Basidiocarp, also known as Basidiomum, and fungus flowers. Why we call fungus flowers? Because this Basidiocarp, they look like very beautiful and in different colors, very attractive in nature. That's why we call them as a fungus flowers. What is Basidiocarp or Basidioma? It is a fruiting body which bears the basidia. And Basidiocarp, it look like crust-like or gelatinous in nature or papery, spongy, corky, woody in texture. So it may be varies in the texture, and they vary in size from microscopic to meter or more in diameter. And where they are produced, most Basidiomycotina fungi bear their basidia in basidiocarps, except in case of rust and smarts, where we saw that basidiospores are produced in chlamydospores or teleospores, and where we can observe this basidiocarp. These basidiocarp producing fungi are mainly mushrooms, shelf fungi, bracket fungi, coral fungi, and puffballs, and bird's nest fungi, earth stars, etc. And these basidia are formed typically in definite layers. That layers are known as hymenium. That means hymenium is the layer where basidia are formed. The hymenium is a layer composed of basidia and any other sterile structures like cystidium and basidiol. Along with basidium, some other structures also we can find in this hymenial layer. The structures are known as cystidium, basidiol, hyphaidea, and setae. Cystidium means this is a structure which is larger and produced beyond other structures, and it is having the very taxonomic importance. Coming to the basidiol, basidiol resembles basidium but without basidiospores. That means it is a basidium only, but it do not produce any basidiospores. And what it is role? It will give support to the fertile basidium. Coming to the hyphaidea, hyphaidea are hyphal end cells which function as 8 rafts around the developing basidia. That means they are providing support to the developing basidia. And another structure known as setae. Setae means we will remember that they look like dark brown color and stiff, thick walled, smooth, pointed, or they are fusiform to ventricle structures. And but these setae are found only in the family Hymenocetaceae. So here we can see the these different structures. If it is a hymeneal layer, if it is a hymeneal layer, here arrangement of basidia, this is the basidiole, that means basidium without having the basidiospore, and this is the cystidium which looks like larger in size compared to other structures, and it is having the taxonomic importance. And this is the basidiospore, and here this is the basidium, and this is the hymeneal layer. Here we can see these are the basidiocarps. These that is fungus flowers or fruiting bodies produced in different fungi. So just recap what we learned in today's class. Today's class we learned about the basidium and development of basidiospores and exceptional structures in rust and smarts and release of basidiospores through Buller's phenomenon, and basidiocarp. Basidiocarps, that is fruit fungus flowers or basidioma. So coming to the classification, how this Basidiomycotina are divided. The classification of Basidiomycotina is changing uh, with the time. Like there are various classifications. If you see Ainsworth classification in 1973, he divided the Basidiomycotina into three classes. One is Gasteromycetes, Hymenomycetes, and Teleomycetes. And coming to the Hawksworth et al. 1983, he classified the Basidiomycotina into Hymenomycetes, Gasteromycetes, Uridinomycetes, Eustilazomycetes. That means he further divided this class Teleomycetes into two different classes, Uridinomycetes and Eustilazinomycetes, to include the rust and smuts. Whereas Swan and Taylor in 1993, they divided the phylum Basidiomycota into three classes, Hymenomycetes, Eustilazinomycetes, and Uridinomycetes. And again, Hawksworth classification at 1995, he placed the phylum Basidiomycota into three classes: Basidiomycetes, Teleomycetes, and Astomycetes. These were the four classifications available for the Basidiomycotina. So if you like this video, just share with your friends to giving them more knowledge. And thank you for your keen interest in this video, and remember to like and subscribe for more videos. I wish you great success, health, prosperity and happiness. Thank you one and all.